Good morning, and welcome to the International Day of UN Peacekeepers Conference 2022, hosted by the Royal United Services Institute and the United Nations Association UK. My name is Major Alistair Beard, and I'm a visiting fellow within the Military Sciences team here at RUSI. We have a great lineup of panelists from across the UN, the military and academia today, who will be discussing how the UN is addressing many of the challenges of current peacekeeping and how the organisation is transforming digitally. This is particularly pertinent given the current events that we're witnessing in the Ukraine. We're also very grateful for our keynote speaker, the UN Under-Secretary General for Peace Operations, Jean-Pierre Lacroix. Before I hand over to Lord Ahmad to formally open the conference, there's a few administrative points. All presentations today will be on the record. Questions can be put to panelists via the question and answer function, and the chair will select these and ask them on your behalf. Please note that these will be off the record. The conference will be made available online after today. It's my great pleasure to hand over to Lord Ahmad, the UK Minister of State for the Commonwealth and the UN, to open the conference. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you to RUSI for challenging us to do more for peacekeepers and peacekeeping. Later today, on behalf of the government, I will lay a wreath at the cenotaph to commemorate peacekeepers from all nations who've made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of upholding international peace and security. It's hard to think about peace and the United Nations without our minds turning 180 degrees to the destruction, expansionism, and heinous behavior of Mr. Putin and his forces. A premeditated, unprovoked, and barbaric attack on a sovereign state, Ukraine. It is a stark and sickening reminder of the real fragility of peace and the need for all of us who value it to work together and indeed through the United Nations in order to protect and restore peace wherever we can. In this respect, UN peacekeepers have repeatedly proved their value in challenging geopolitical and operational environments. But because peacekeeping is difficult and indeed complex, it can require continual reform. It does need to be adapted to the evolving nature of conflict and threats, from improvised explosive devices to also issues of climate change. The United Kingdom government support for peacekeeping focuses on the 3 Ps: smarter pledging, integrated planning, and of course, importantly, improved mission performance. In practical terms, we deliver our support through deployments of UK personnel, through capacity building with other contributing countries, and through specific projects and programs to roll out best practice and, importantly, support peace. Let me first speak about the United Kingdom's pledges. In December 2020, the UK deployed a specialist long-range reconnaissance group to MINUSA in Mali, consisting of 300 troops. They provide a capability that improves the reach, agility, and responsiveness of the UN force. They strengthen its ability to protect civilians. Our deployment to MINUSMA advances our vision for proactive peacekeeping, where civilians are protected and human rights abuses do not go unanswered. The UK task group has been instrumental in seizing weapons and ammunition hidden by terrorists, and in bringing a much-needed security presence in the wake of attacks by extremists. This has enabled UN investigations to take place and brought much-needed space for burials and bereavement. While UK troops alone will not bring stability to Mali, they show the positive impact that a targeted deployment of highly skilled and determined troops can make, even in the most challenging of environments and circumstances. They are indeed proof that smart pledges deliver real, practical results. Smart pledges must also include women, and I know the increasing number of women is not easy. We struggle in the UK, but it's a fact that when women are involved in peacekeeping, they access sections of the population closed off to men. Indeed, in the long term, they empower societies by empowering women and girls in host communities to join security forces, police and military forces as well. And that is why the United Kingdom is absolutely committed to the ELSI initiative for uniformed women in peacekeeping. Since its launch in 2019, we, the UK, have provided £5.9 million to support the deployment of female peacekeepers, including £1.2 million this financial year. We have seen how troop and police contributing countries are slowly increasing, but importantly, increasing the number of female peacekeepers. For example, with support from ELSI, Togo has more than doubled the number of women in its troop contingent, from just over 3% to nearly 7%. Yes, I accept the numbers are still very low, but there is progress, and it's in the right direction. Our second guiding P is performance. We must ensure peacekeepers have the necessary training, the equipment they need, and medical support to be safe and perform at their best. UK experts are working on multiple fronts to share their expertise with partners and strengthen the performance of international peacekeepers. At the UN Peacekeeping Ministerial Meeting in December, I committed UK experts to review the UN's counter-IED policy and to report to the Secretary-General. They continue to work with the United Nations and member states to implement these key findings. We are also strengthening our peacekeeping partnerships by training peacekeepers, predominantly across Africa. This includes human security training. And recently, we've also developed a pre-deployment course for police on investigating sexual and gender-based violence. This trains officers to place victims' welfare at the very center of their important work. Our peacekeeping partnerships improve mission performance, enhance capabilities, and support the delivery of UN mandates. Our third and final guiding P is, of course, planning. We use our Conflict Stability and Security Fund, worth more than £1 billion a year, to improve international peacekeeping and strengthen international peace and security. This advances progress against the UN Secretary-General's Action for Peacekeeping and Action for Peacekeeping plus reform initiatives as well. Over the last few years, our funding has improved UN force generation, mission planning and evaluation, and also the use of intelligence in UN operations. This has helped protect civilians and keep peacekeepers out of danger. The UK government will also continue our work in support of a more agile and effective United Nations. A United Nations that as an organisation responds to new challenges, builds effective partnerships, and finds political solutions to the conflicts around the world. That is something everyone should be in favour of.